When shooting any landscapes, cityscapes or architecture shots, one of the problems that photographers can face is converging verticals, or even if the camera was at a slight angle to the subject, you can get horizontal distortion. So this is really easy to fix in Lightroom, and where traditionally you would have to use a tilt and shift lens, although that is always the best option, it is very easy and effective to correct these distortions in Lightroom. So here we have a shot that was taken handheld and the camera was tilting upwards ever so slightly, because if you look at these two lines here, you can see that they're kind of leaning inwards, creating mild converging verticals. And once the image has been processed, the first step is to enable profile corrections just to get rid of any optical distortions in the shot. And then once that's done, just by clicking on those two checkboxes there, we can move to the transform controls. These have several presets that work to varying degrees. There is a guided option which works very well, and then there's the manual sliders underneath. So we're going to take a look at all of the options available. So the first thing that you can always try is just hitting the auto button, and sometimes it does a fantastic job, other times it doesn't work so well. And if we look at these two vertical lines here, we can see that they're now leaning outwards, so the auto option hasn't worked very well at all. So if we just go back a step, we'll get back to the original state. So that was applied just by holding down Control and Z, or on a Mac that would be Command and Z. So next up we could try the vertical preset and see how that works, and once again it has behaved just like the auto, so not so good, not working in this particular situation. The next one we can try is guided. And for this, we just need to apply some guides. So when you hover the mouse pointer over the line, you can get quite a precise line. So I'm just left mouse clicking and dragging the second point downwards, and then using the magnifier, I can place that point pretty much in exactly the right position. So then we just need to apply a second guide, and then there you'll see we've actually got an absolutely perfect result there. 9 times out of 10, guided is the best option, but it's always worth trying auto because sometimes it does do a fantastic job. But let's just go back a few steps and let's just try the full perspective correction. And once again, it hasn't worked as well as the guided. So the final option that we have is to use the sliders. So we have several controls here, and the one that you need to use for converging verticals is the vertical. So we get the grid showing, which is really useful because we can make sure that those straight lines are absolutely perfect. So using the line on the right as my guide, that is roughly where we want to be. And then we can also control horizontal distortion if the camera wasn't completely square to the subject when the shot was taken. When using some of these controls, so using the sliders or auto, you'll see that there is a white border that appears at the bottom where the image has been adjusted, and all you have to do to remove that is hit the constrain crop checkbox, and that will remove the empty space. But just going back a few steps, for me it is the guided option that's the best. So for this shot, I would definitely be using the guided transform tools to correct that image. And as I said before, just remember, if there is any white space around the image anywhere, just click on the constrain crop checkbox and that will be removed. So that is how to correct perspective distortion in your landscapes, cityscapes and architecture shots in Lightroom.